All right. Morning, everyone. Well, morning for me. Good evening, everyone in the US. And I just went completely dark. Let me see if I can alter this here. There we go. Um, Welcome to another edition of Market Trading. Oh, shit. Morning, everyone. Well, morning for and I am in the Maldives. I am on a site visit for the upcoming financial summit. Let me show you what's in my background. I wish I can bring you the stream like maybe 30 minutes earlier before the sun came out. Let me see if I could. I'm not sure why the tracker thing is not working. Let's fix that. And there we go. So here, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get up. And hopefully you guys will see an awesome background. All right, come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. And check this out. These are the overwater bungalows. I wish I could get the camera closer. Well, I could get the camera closer if I pick up the camera. So maybe I'll do that. Let me stop the lock. Let me do this. I'm going to grab the camera here, and I'm going to show you guys where I am. It's about as far as I can get the camera over. Look at this gorgeous view. It's low tide right now. I didn't see that reef yesterday when I was here. So all of that goes underwater. And the water comes up almost to just like close to house level right there. And for the financial summit, almost everyone will be staying in these bungalows. This was one of the deals I negotiated with the hotel where we get otherwise I would not be able to do this at the standard $9,000 price. But there we go. I'm going to set this back over. And let me put the tracker back on if it spots me. There's some trouble spotting me here. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, we're going to go on with the show. Let me zoom out so you guys can see my background, my backdrop. And I'm on the balcony. I'm staying inland. No reason to spend double the price to stay in those. I'm just here checking them all out. And Maldives is pretty cool. It's wish it was easier to get good alcohol, but other than that, I really like it here. It's cool. All right, let me look at your comments. Yeah, it's my first time in the Maldives. Okay, let me grab this, put it here. And let's go to the charts. Go to the charts, guys. Shadow tone activated. Yeah, but like it's a shadow, but at least you guys can see the gorgeous background, right? I mean, you guys see me enough. My audio good. My video is okay. All right, let's go to the charts. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. So we did a show with Matt McGregor about 12 hours ago. The charts were looking so much cleaner 12 hours ago. We've now pulled back, and the current weekly candle is now back in the red. I really would like to see a green candle. This continues to be a pullback. The consolidation on the 4-day, I was smart for being extra conservative. Back to just a 50% allocation. Extra conservative is good. Disappointed I didn't enter that Tesla trade. And we wait for the moving averages to cross over. I have Matt texting me. Yeah, so let's see what happens on this 4-hour candle. Sorry, 4-day candle that's supposed to end real soon. It does have some support on the low end moving average. And so let's see how this candle closes, how the next candle begins. I am a little bit concerned on this current drop. I really thought we would hold 65,000 daily scale. But yesterday's candle that closed a few hours ago got completely rejected by what looks like the 20-period moving average. We came back, hit the 50, hit the 20, could not get over it. I was hoping to get that MRI top, maybe in consolidation, but a clear rejection. And now we need to make sure we hold the $63,000 area, because if the price of Bitcoin goes below 62,000, this orange box on this candle will probably go away. If we get super close to that moving to that, not moving average, but if we get super close to that $60,000 low, then my view that the price will hit the 128 day moving average is back on the table. We have not hit this moving average in a long time. It's very healthy when Bitcoin hits the 128-day moving average. And the last time we broke below it, and that was all the way back a year ago in August of last year. Okay, let's move on. This is more of a Q&A kind of show for you guys. Yes, I want to say it looks like a Windows 10 wallpaper. Yeah, it's really gorgeous here. This is going to be the new chart we'll be following for when the next Bitcoin top is likely to happen. It would be nice if we repeated, let's say that green line. This was the, not this past halving, but the 2017 version. That was very, very nice, where we went from like 3,000 or something, all the way to 19,000. That was a good one. Hey guys, speaking of Bitcoin trading cards, someone pulled a one-on-one tone Vays. Where's my Twitter? And I don't want to dox any Twitter DMs. Let me see. Well, let's hope it's not set to DMs. Good. So if you, that was one of my quotes. I remember that. That was back when I was doing like 2 videos a day. Shout out to Coin Beast. Someone like here, someone was just recording them opening packs, and they opened mine. So cool. Here we go. Go big screen. Hope I don't get a strike for the music. No way. This is like a avid collector. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The one-on-one mojo. Yeah, so that was super cool. So the one-on-one tone Vays card has been found. Super cool. Yeah, I'm still doing 2 videos a day. Rarely. Rarely. All right, short-term charts. See where we are. So this, I have to do one of these for the bear market as well. So for the bear market, I start the very first epoch a lot later for the bear market than I do for the bull market. There is a reason to this madness, is because it takes a certain amount of time to get to a, for people to get to a bull market, and that time begins when Bitcoin had its first price discovery. But when it's time to identify a bear market is after enough time has passed, like the bear market bottom. And for the bear market timing, I start the chart when Bitcoin came into existence, and I just ignore the fact before it got its first price point. So this is why this is lined up for the low, and the next one and the other one is lined up for the high. I just need to do what I did with this chart here, but we got plenty of time before we can identify a future low. Yep, we are in the fifth epoch, which is crazy. We are in the fifth epoch. Yep. This is the fourth. The black line is the fourth. And I'm going to redo all of this over here on the right. I'm not going to do it on live air, though. It'll take a while. Short-term chart. Not happy about this. But at least it came down to a level of support. But we got to hold this support. We really needed to break out to above 68,000 last night. Like, this candle should have been in reverse, and everyone will be breathing a sigh of relief. Yeah, Crane is the biggest whale in the Bitcoin trading card space. Hey, Bitcoin ETFs. I updated this. I don't know if the Financial Summit Twitter account tweeted this out. Last week was not a good week. This is the week ending 4/19. We're halfway through the current week. Not sure where we are. I think there should be 2 days of data somewhere. Let me glance at another website. It has been bullish. More Bitcoin bought than sold over the first 2 days of the week coming up. So we'll see. The GBTC selling has slowed down. I'm still waiting for iShares to flip GBTC as far as the number of Bitcoins being held. But it's good to see something like this. It gives you a perspective how many overall Bitcoins being held. So right now, the total Bitcoins being held is 837,000 Bitcoin. I'm sure when this breaks 1 million Bitcoin, people are going to notice. GBTC has sold over 300,000 Bitcoin, and the additional GBTC inflows have been $14 billion of 221 Bitcoin. This is measured in current price of Bitcoin, which is right here. That's the current price of Bitcoin. This is live updating, so it's always telling me the latest price of Bitcoin. I'm not sure what exchange they're using. Did GBTC change their fee? Is it lower now? I don't know. Kermit, last I heard it was 1.5%, but if it's lower, let us know. I don't have plans with Peter McCormick. I don't know. If I get a call inviting me to his show, I'll consider it. Peter McCormick and I don't agree on politics and social issues. Is it beneficial for Bitcoin to consolidate for 2 to 3 months in the 60s to 70s range to reset the price for a bounce to $150,000? Michael, the answer is yes. It is very beneficial for Bitcoin to consolidate here. If I look at the daily chart, if we zoom out, You see this consolidation here at the high? This started in this early December, and it broke out in February. That's 3 months. So December, January, all of December, all of January into February. So that's 2 months. Sorry, that's 2 months of consolidation. We are close to that. We are in March, and this is April. But notice how we're consolidating in a much wider range. Because this range is much wider, this has to go on for much longer. So this is probably where I want to see a breakout. I want to see a breakout at the end of May, so at least 1 more month. When is the best time to open the Tone Vays tequila? I'm saving my bottle for 100K. I'm saving it for 100K. Natural gas, no comment. It's still pretty low. Oil. Oh, let's go and take a look if the Biden administration is still selling oil or buying oil, sorry. Peter McCormick didn't join live on the halving party. Maybe you were watching the last halving party from 2020. Peter McCormick wasn't on the 2024 halving stream. Let's see if they're still buying oil into the reserve. I'm going to say no, but let's find out. Oh, they did. They did buy more oil. So that's 419. And they did buy additional oil. Interesting. I thought they said they were going to stop. That's surprising. Like, I have an article stating they're going to stop. Oh, I don't have the number from the 12th either. I got to get the number from the 12th. Let's do the math. Yeah, they're still buying oil right there. Biden administration has purchased 11 million barrels of oil this year. They are continuing to buy oil into the reserve. I'm waiting for them to flip and start selling into the summer. Yeah, I gotta post a link, actually. I'm not sure what I did with the link. There were articles saying they were going to stop buying oil. It's weird. Looking forward to the next. In a couple of days, we're going to get the next round of... well, this I don't need anymore. I updated the spreadsheet, by the way. I spent like half a day, and I updated the numbers. I updated the revenue and the spending of the government for the fiscal year 2023. We're almost halfway through the year. By the way, I already forgot how I calculated net interest. I remember this took me 2 weeks to figure out, and I did a video explaining how I figured it out. And it was a total nightmare trying to figure out the calculation of net interest. Here is net interest. This is the line item that I care most about right here, is the net interest spending of the government. You can see how it starts to go up exponentially. In the last fiscal year, $658,000, $658 million was, sorry, not million, $1 billion was spent on net interest. Now, don't confuse net interest with interest on debt. Everyone's going to quote interest on debt. Interest on debt is over $1 trillion, but net interest is not that much. It lowers the number. So net interest is what I care about. And down here somewhere, I think it's in my raw data. The only estimate I really publish, I guess I should put these in, but so down here, right? So the estimate, I try to keep the estimate when the estimate was created. I missed 2021, unfortunately, but I didn't have the data. But I got to make sure I get the next estimate. Estimate in 2023, And later this year, there'll be an estimate in 2024 about the future. So this is where things go horribly wrong, is that in 2020, this was the estimate for net interest spending for 2026. In this last 6 months ago, the net interest spending for 2026 is now double that, okay? And then look how slowly it rises. And I think they're always going to be underestimating it in the current rate environment. So you can see how even in 2022, the estimate for 2023 was 660, and in reality, they still kind of failed that by function. No, they came close. It was 658. But when you look further out, here's how their estimates change. Their estimate back in 2020 for 2025, because, no, you know what? Let's do for 2024. 2024 numbers aren't out yet. Their original estimate for this year was 367. Then 2 years later, man, I wish I can get this number. I'm missing a year, basically, unfortunately. I don't know how I got these numbers, but I'm missing this number here. Too bad. That's okay. I gotta be sure I get to it, otherwise you can't get the documentation. So for this upcoming year, in 2022, they estimated 788, and then this past year, they estimated 888. So this is the number we're anticipating this year, 888 on net interest. This could, I think it'll be over 900. I think it'll be over 900. Now you can see by function, human resources is by far the biggest line item. And defense is the second, but net interest might go over defense and become the second biggest line item. Now, human resources is broken up into these sub-functions. And obviously, Social Security and income security are the two biggest, along with healthcare. So this right here makes $4 trillion in spending. So that's $4.164 trillion in spending. Okay. So yeah, this spreadsheet is publicly available, sort of. I tweet it out every now and then. It's also pinned in my Telegram groups. And it has, all of the data for government spending and stuff, and the oil stuff. And then I even break it down by subsection. Putting this together is a pain in the ass. All right, my moderator chat is posting me some stuff. Tone, if you're looking at stocks today, can you look at REIT? Yeah, sure. Stock ticker symbol O. Okay. Tone, what do you think of MicroStrategy? I mean, it's a leverage trade on Bitcoin. Samurai got an indictment? Oh, I did not know this. We need to do a law show, clearly. I'm going to go take a look at what's going on with the indictment on Samurai. S&P 500 hanging in there. How do we do today? Let's see. How do we do today? Beautiful MRI buy. We pulled back a little bit. Bitcoin pulled back. Yeah. If the stock market starts to rise a bit, we'll probably be okay with the price of Bitcoin. Let me take a look at those stocks. Man, I'm killing myself here for not taking the Tesla trade. I don't normally trade earnings, directionally, but this was, now keep in mind, I would have traded, I was bearish on the last NVIDIA earnings. So I would have gotten hurt on that trade, but this trade, I would have made up all those losses. Yep, I'm on the Tesla chart. Was a lot nicer looking yesterday in the morning, but yeah, I expected Bitcoin to rise on earnings, even if the earnings was bad, because of how bad Tesla has been beaten up. Now, it doesn't mean Tesla is going to go to new highs. Tesla may still have one more low in it. It's been underperforming earnings for a while. So it's possible Tesla will, go up to 180 and then go back down. Very possible. All right, I'm gonna review. Man, can someone text TradingView? Can you tell them to update minor revenue chart? They stopped updating this chart. For some crazy reason, they stopped updating it here in January. Does anyone know anyone at TradingView that could tell them why did they stop updating this chart? I want to see what the minor revenue is. It's not a hard calculation to make. And they stopped updating it. Maybe there's another ticker. Can someone look into this? This is minor revenue. So this is basically the number of Bitcoins mined in a single day, which is a known number. Like we know how much Bitcoin gets created in a single day. And you multiply by the average Bitcoin price that day. And then you just do this calculation. And it's, I don't know why they stopped updating this chart in January. Can someone follow up on that? There is news that Mt. Gox has started distributing the 190,000 Bitcoin. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I've been saying it for a decade that Mt. Gox is waiting for everyone to die of old age before they have to pay back the money. I do not believe they started selling that Bitcoin. Oh, I haven't talked about interest rates in forever. When is the next? Oh, wow, it's in 6 days? No. What's the expectation? Nothing? Right, the expectation is nothing. He's not lowering the rate, but I don't think he's going to raise the rate. And the reason why I don't think he's going to raise the rate is because the stock market has fallen. Had the stock market been at a new all-time high, I can see Powell raising the rate, but he's not going to endanger the stock market more. So I think he's going to hold it steady, and he's going to talk about how he may lower the interest rate in the future to talk the stock market higher. Yeah, GBTC is still selling Bitcoin. Why would they stop? I mean, it's not them, right? It's people. People are exiting GBTC. They're still selling 500 to 1,000 Bitcoin a day. So at this rate, 1 year from now, they'll have no Bitcoin. Hey guys, I never mentioned Signals MRI. Keep in mind, we do have a Signals. Not we, I don't, but someone built an MRI notification tool. You may want to check it out. You can try it for free for 30 days. It's called tradingmri.com. Just go to tradingmri.com and you can set your own. There's tone assets. Ooh. Maybe I'm not properly logged in. Hold on. Crypto. There it is. And stocks, Forex. Look at that. The Australian dollar is bullish versus the Japanese dollar. I think everything is bullish versus the Japanese dollar. I want to go through some stuff. Okay, so before we go to stocks, I do want to check Ethereum. Maybe it'll put a smile on my face. Ethereum is continuing to drop. If you look at the weekly scale of Ethereum, Ethereum hit a high 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it's continuing to go down on a monthly scale. Has Ethereum done any other Marxist updates yet? I'm waiting for the epic of Mao. We have to label when Mao comes into the equation here. And then Castro. Ethereum should really name their updates by communist leaders. How many live viewers do we have? We have 250. Nice. Hey guys, like and subscribe if you haven't. Is Litecoin still heading for its? There it is. There it is. There it goes. Litecoin, not Lightning. Did I say Lightning? Litecoin is on an MRI buy, so the selling will slow down. Litecoin is at an all-time low to Bitcoin. Litecoin is one of the oldest shitcoins we have, and it's a blueprint for every shitcoin that has ever existed and every shitcoin that will exist. This is your benchmark. This shows you the future of your shitcoin, whether it's a proof of stake, proof of work, proof of clouds, it doesn't matter. And I'm waiting for that 80%. It's always fallen 80% since the halving. It is halfway there, halfway. Litecoin has already fallen. How much? Since the halving, Litecoin is down 60%. And it only has, well, from here, it has like another 60% to go or 80%. But overall, it has 20 more percent to fall from the top. But since it's percent of percent, I think it has about 45% to fall. Something like that. Let me see. 60. 55% from here. There it is. So it has 55% to fall from here until it reaches its target. Solana is one of the few that actually still looks bullish. It's only a matter of time. The future of Solana is identical to the future of Tezos. There is absolutely no difference between Solana and Tezos. They are both proof of stake. One it just has still has pumpers, and the other one does not. And yeah, I mean, look, Tezos is a proof of stake shitcoin. So the more time goes on, the more Tezos get created, the more people get disinterested, and the more price falls. Eventually, it will be worthless. And one more thing that may put a smile. Oh yeah, this was the NIN. Are people over this? Are people? Yeah, people are probably over it. That's probably the all-time high. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, that's in dollars. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's over. Eventually, there was going to be a top in this. Every time I see INJ, I keep thinking New Jersey. Whatever this New Jersey coin is, NJ. I think it's over. I mean, you can hold on to it, right? You can put your kid's college fund into this and wait and see. Your kid might be better off learning on Rumble anyway. But yeah, I mean, go for it. I think that's it. I think that's the high. And the last thing that may put a smile on my face, let's see how B-Trash is doing. Haven't looked at this chart in a long time. It pumped. And again, probably on the Bitcoin halving, maybe. Not really. Yeah, on the Bitcoin halving. Let me see. The top was probably Bitcoin halving. Yep, there it is. First week of April. I mean, people are confused. They probably thought B-Trash was Bitcoin. And this might be it. This might be it. We're waiting for the new all-time low. And eventually it'll be over. No, that's it for shitcoins. We're not doing it anymore. Any news about SBF? Not really. I don't really care. I don't pay attention to that. Okay, let's, what the hell happened? Oh, the mempool. So at least people are realizing runes is garbage. And the difficulty went up. I saw that like 50, look at that, 35 sat per byte transactions were processing, which is great. The total mempool is down to 184,000 transactions, which is good. This thing was like a 300,000 plus. So it does look like we're going to come back down to earth when it comes to clogged mempool. So that's good news. Okay, let's see what we got here. Founder and CEO of cryptocurrency mixing service arrested and charged with money laundering and unlicensed money transmitter offense. Keon Rodriguez and William Lonergan Hill. I actually don't recognize those names. Are charged with operating Samurai Wallet, an unlicensed money transmitter business that executed over $2 billion in unlawful transmission. Why am I reading? This is why I pay for an AI service.
Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Thomas Federico, the Special Agent in charge of the New York Field Office of the Internal Revenue Service, Criminal Investigation, IRSC, and James Smith, the Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, announced today the unsealing of an indictment charging Keon Rodriguez, the Chief Executive Officer and a co-founder of Samurai Wallet, Samurai, and William Lonergan Hill, the Chief Technology Officer and also a co-founder of Samurai, with conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. These charges arise from the defendant's development, marketing, and operation of a cryptocurrency mixer that executed over $2 billion in unlawful transactions and facilitated more than $100 million in money laundering transactions from illegal dark web markets, such as Silk Road and Hydra Market, a web server intrusion, a spear phishing scheme, and schemes to defraud multiple decentralized finance protocols. Rodriguez was arrested this morning and is expected to be presented today or tomorrow before a U.S. magistrate judge in the Western District of Pennsylvania. Hill was arrested this morning in Portugal based on the U.S. criminal charges. The United States will seek Hill's extradition to stand trial in the United States. The case is assigned to U.S. District Judge Richard M. Berman, in coordination with law enforcement authorities in Iceland. Samurai's web servers and domain, https://samurai.io/ were seized.
All right, what the fuck? Someone needs to build a better AI.
Additionally, a seizure warrant for Samurai's mobile application was served on the Google Play Store. As a result, the application will no longer be available to be downloaded from the Google Play Store in the United States. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said, as alleged, Keon Rodriguez and William Lonergan Hill are responsible for developing, marketing, and operating Samurai, a cryptocurrency mixing service that executed over $2 billion in unlawful transactions and served as a haven for criminals to engage in large-scale money laundering. Rodriguez and Hill allegedly knowingly facilitated the laundering of over $100 million of criminal proceeds from the Silk Road, Hydra Market, and a host of other computer hacking and fraud campaigns. Together with our law enforcement partners, we will continue to relentlessly pursue and dismantle criminal organizations that use cryptocurrency to hide illicit conduct. IRSC Special Agent in Charge Thomas Federico said, $2 billion in transactions with an unlicensed money transmitter means $2 billion flowed without any oversight, from whomever to wherever. Because of the company's disregard for regulation, it's alleged that Samurai Wallet laundered more than $100 million in criminal proceeds. Special agents with IRS, New York and IRS, LA's cyber units work with our federal and international law enforcement partners to not only arrest the founders and CEO, but to also seize their domain. Samurai Wallet is now closed for business. FBI Assistant Director in Charge James Smith said, threat actors utilize technology to evade law enforcement detection and create environments conducive to criminal activity. For almost 10 years, Keon Rodriguez and William Hill allegedly operated a mobile cryptocurrency mixing platform which provided other criminals a virtual haven for the clandestine exchange of illicit funds, the facilitation of more than $2 billion in illegal transactions, and $100 million in dark web money laundering. The FBI is committed to exposing covert financial schemes and ensuring no...
All right, I heard enough. So, look, my comments on this are very simple. First off, these guys should have been living and being residents in a non-extradition country. That was a mistake. Them living in Portugal was a mistake. Okay. Could have lived in Malta, for example, right? So it's a really easy Google search. Which countries do not extradite to the US, right? Really simple Google search. Okay. I mean, I don't know if they want to live in China, but or Afghanistan. Yeah, Ukraine would extradite them in a second. I don't believe that. But I can swear Malta had no extradition. I could be wrong. I would have looked it up, of course, before that. And I don't know about the UAE either. I'm not liking this list. Google's doing a bad job. Yeah, I guess so. So there's your list. Why did I think Malta had no extradition? Guess I'm wrong. I would have lived in one of these countries. Okay. Man, I'm trying to think like which country I would live in out of all these countries. Really? Republic of Georgia? Okay, there it is. Right there. That would probably be my choice. I love Georgia. So, I mean, oh, you can live in Bali. There you go. Bali is a cool spot. Thailand. There is no, not Thailand. Sorry, that's Thailand. Vietnam. Vietnam's cool. So if I was them, first off, I would have lived in one of these red countries. Let's start there. Okay. And my overall view on this, and again, this is my potential debate with Joe Calasari. This is the reason why America will disappear as a global superpower. And in a way, the faster that happens, the better. Money laundering laws are criminal. They're complaining about this wallet mixing $2 billion over 10 years. Meanwhile, they're mixing $60 billion in the piece of paper that was signed last week. Okay? So this is complete hypocrisy and complete and utter bullshit. Now, at the same time, if I was operating one of these things, I would have lived and never left the extradition country. And well, I wouldn't live in North Korea. You know, I'm gonna get. Don't take the following comment out of context, but and I've never been to Iran, but I know people that have been to Iran. I know people that do business in Iran, and other than potentially getting nuked by Israel, Iran is not as bad as the Western media makes it sound. I'm not saying it's, Bali. I'm not saying it's Thailand. But what I'm saying is the way the Western media portrays Iran and reality of Iran are very, very different. Iran has become basically an independent country because of the 20 years of sanctions. Iran has become completely independent. They do not need the United States. They have food, they have industry. They're an independent country. Iran is more independent, and yes, North Korea will take maybe another decade to get there, right? So Russia is ahead of Iran, and China is ahead of Russia still as far as complete independence without reliance on Europe and the West. So, for example, if like if, for example, if the internet goes down, Russia, China, and Iran will have a much better time adjusting and surviving than anyone in Europe. I mean, it's gonna be Lord of the Flies over here. I mean, these people don't even know how to, hunt for an apple on a tree. Okay, but these countries have persevered, insane sanctions, and people are able to be self-sufficient, which is more than I can say about you know, everything in green here. All right, let's get back to this here. So let's see what Joe Colasari had to say. More examples of things you shouldn't post on social media. For example, in 2022, Rodriguez posted a message on Samurai's Twitter account. Welcome new Russian oligarch Samurai wallet users. Again, I personally do not have a problem with that statement. Okay. Now, America has a problem with that statement because America started a war with Russia. A Russian oligarch is identical to an American entrepreneur. That's all that is. If you are Russian, you are an oligarch. If you are an American or a European, you are an entrepreneur with a private business. That's literally the only difference. Ukrainians used to be oligarchs, but the wealthy private Ukrainian business people used to be oligarchs. But now that Ukrainians are dying for America to fight Russians, they're no longer oligarchs. They are now entrepreneurs. So, but yeah, I mean, when you write things like this, America will, arrest you on the other side of the world. It has nothing to do with your actual business. It just has to do with a vendetta that America has against entrepreneurs. What else did he write? Europol also highlighted a Samurai wallet as an emerging top threat. Now, of course they did. Europol is a top threat to entrepreneurship. And again, these institutions, Europol, FBI, CIA, they will disappear. They will be gone, and probably in my lifetime. And the sooner that is, the better. Samurai engaged in unlicensed receipt and transactions of funds. Again, to me, the most criminal laws we have, like the laws, the most atrocious laws that should not exist are money laundering laws. So if you ask me, what Samurai got arrested for, the people that arrested them should be arrested for enforcing these laws. That's my view on it. I don't think Laos has the infrastructure. I've never been to Laos, right? So I can only speak about the countries I've been to, and I've never been to Iran, obviously. I have been to Russia, but it was a long time ago. And I've never been to mainland China, but I've been to Hong Kong, and Hong Kong was great. So if I had to live in one of these countries in the red, my top two choices would probably be Georgia, but Georgia isn't as good anymore as it used to be. And the reason it's not as good anymore as it used to be, and it's not like that I want to say anything bad about Russians, it's just that for the same reason that Thailand isn't as good as it used to be, and Bali isn't as good as it used to be, is because of the Russia-Ukrainian conflict. A lot of Russians fled to Georgia and Thailand and Bali, and the places have just become overcrowded and extra expensive. So that's the reason, not because the Russians are coming, right? It's because it didn't have to be Russians. It could have been anyone, right? And so there was a mass migration into these countries that altered like the life in those countries, right? So I prefer places that are not overcrowded, not over touristy. I prefer places that are still hidden gems. And when the Russia-Ukraine war began, so many Russians fled to Georgia, Thailand, and Bali, that it wasn't the same anymore. Prices went up, hotel rooms were packed, Airbnbs were packed, everything was expensive. So it's not, and unfortunately, it's not as good. Like if Russia never got into the war with Ukraine, which is America's fault, by the way, I'll always put that as an asterisk. These places would have been better because they wouldn't have been as overcrowded. They just don't have the infrastructure. Russia is a big place. Like 1 million Russians coming to Georgia is a big deal. Just like, 10 million people flooding into the US. So, well, when Americans are complaining that like 20, 30 million people have come across the border, putting a strain on US infrastructure, but US is a massive place. Georgia is a tiny little country right here, right? So if 1 million Russians go there, even though they have money and they're not trying to live off of welfare and they're not trying to, overrun the country, they have money to spend, but it makes it harder for me to go there and spend my money, right? So, but Georgia, Thailand, can't go to Thailand, unfortunately. So Vietnam. I like Vietnam almost as much as I like Thailand. So my preferences would be Georgia, Vietnam, and then probably Indonesia. I've never been to Madagascar, and I wish Tanzania was on the list. That'd be cool. And yeah, I haven't been to a lot of Africa, so I don't have comments on that. I haven't looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Russia is too cold for me. Like I wouldn't live in Russia. It's too cold. Maybe in the summer, down here somewhere in the summer and in the south. I wanted to spend my entire summer in Ukraine. I wanted to spend my entire summer in Kiev. And that's not going to happen anymore unless Russia takes over, like Kiev. Then maybe, but I wouldn't go. I'm probably on so many Ukrainian shit lists now that I wouldn't dare set foot there. All right, let's see what else Joe wrote. All right, well, you can check these out. I'm not going to read them. Too much to read. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance. Spoke writes, I'm currently in Vietnam, but please don't send more Westerners here. Are there a lot of Russians in Vietnam? Russians don't really care for Vietnam as much as they care about Thailand. Like, for example, Phuket is now like mini Moscow. I was in Phuket like a year and a half ago, and the first language they speak on the loudspeaker at the airport is Russian, and then Thai, and then English. Like, I think there's more Russians in Phuket than Thais at this point. Oh yeah, Philippines. I like the Philippines, but not as much as Thailand and Vietnam, and I'll tell you why. So, and Philippines is not is an extradition country, so that makes sense, right? Because Philippines is way too close to the United States, and Thailand is on the border. So the problem with Philippines is America put in a puppet government in the Philippines, and this puppet government, for some reason, wants to start a war with China to be the next Ukraine. So the US government at the moment is trying to turn Thailand and Myanmar and Philippines into the future mini Ukraine, but this time against China. And obviously the US government is trying to turn Taiwan into a mini Ukraine and Japan. So the US government is gaslighting every country they can to be aggressive to China. And they haven't gotten to Vietnam yet. So I would rather almost pretty soon, if Thailand continues its aggressive policy towards China, I would rather be in Vietnam because I don't want Thailand to be the next Ukraine, and I don't want Philippines to be the next Ukraine. But America wants Philippines and Thailand and Taiwan to be the next Ukraine. We now have a blueprint of America's strategy. The Israel stuff is a little very different, but the similarity between what America did to Ukraine and turn Ukrainians against Russians, picking a fight with the Russians, is exactly what America is doing. I mean, they're closer in Taiwan, and then they're second closest in the Philippines, and then they're also very close in Thailand. UAE, can go live in the UAE. That's another option. If you have the money, UAE is a good spot right there. I was just in UAE yesterday. Become a resident, stay there. So why did these guys decide to stay in Portugal? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, you're writing you know you have a business that the United States government hates. They would turn you in, you know, they will execute them tomorrow if they could. So why do you want to stay in a West European country? I don't know. That boggles the mind. I don't know anything about Madagascar. Like literally, I know nothing. Other than this was the first option to make a Jewish state after World War II was Madagascar instead of, you know, creating Israel. Other than that, I know almost nothing about Madagascar. I didn't even watch that cartoon, whatever it was called, Madagascar. I know nothing about Madagascar. No, UAE is great for a single guy. It's about, yeah, it's probably better for a single guy than a family. I mean, it's good for both. But yeah, you will. It's expensive. You want to be a single guy in the UAE, it's gonna cost you. Taking a girl out in Dubai is not cheap. No, it's great for singles. So the amount of Russian and Ukrainian girls in UAE in Dubai is almost as many as probably almost as many as in Ukraine today. Yeah, being single in Dubai is fun. Yeah, Madagascar was almost Israel, right? Probably would have been better, but they wanted the historic lands, but now they're about to, you know, start firing tactical nukes. So I don't know. It's debatable which one would have been better. All right, let's see how the Ukrainians are doing. I heard there is a way, time, there it is. So we can go back. Let me drop these. So this is the current land that Russia occupies, everything in red. And they finally creating some buffer zones. I remember there was let me put this back. There it is. See this teardrop right here? That's a water treatment plant. I remember when this was squarely in Ukrainian territory, and now look how much further Russia has gone. So the other way we can look at it is, what has Russia achieved? How far have they moved? So if we go backwards, if we go 1 year back, so we're April right now, right? Today is what, like April 25th? So let's go March 25th. So 1 month ago, oh man, how do I get rid of this? There it is. So this is a month ago. Looks very similar. So let's go a year ago, right? Let's go 1 year ago. We're in April. So April 25th, exactly 1 year ago, what did it look like? All right, come on, guys. Here it is, 1 year ago, right? So this was Avdiivka, basically. That was a hard town for Russia to take. So here's what it looked like a year ago. I'm going to zoom out. Okay. So here's a year ago. And here's today. So let's see if we can spot big differences. So this is white here. They're touching the red here. They're touching the red here, here. This is space between the gray and the red. Nothing's changed down here, I think. So let's see. Wait, this looks exactly the same. Did it update? Oh, it's not exactly the same. Avdiivka has been captured right here. So this is the main driver that Russia has right now. So in the last year, Russia actually has not taken much territory. Ukrainians have been putting up a very good fight. And I think this is the next area that Russia is going to take. But during that time, Russia has taken out a lot of Ukrainians. And I'm surprised they still haven't taken this land back. I'm surprised this isn't back in the hands of Russia. So now that the conflict has been going on for 2 years, over 2 years, you have to ask yourself the following question. If Russia has barely moved the line of contact in the last 2 years, how was it so easy for Russia to take all of this land here in the first month of the conflict? So anyone that doesn't understand what's going on has to really ponder the following question. Do you think it's safe to travel to Kiev? No, absolutely not. Though I do heard they're still partying. So if you have any Ukrainian blood, even like third generation, it is not safe to travel to Kiev because they can throw you on the front line. Oh, Kiev was one of my favorite cities too. It was in my top 5 favorite cities. Again, before America, before the brainwashing took hold of the majority of the population, and they decided to pick a war with Russia. Yeah, Kiev was also my favorite city. But answer the following question. How was Russia able to take all this land in the first month or two of the war, or the special military operation? And then for the last year and a half, they've barely moved an inch. How did that happen? And when you realize the answer, you understand why the war started. Yeah, here's Georgia. See, Georgia did something equally as stupid as Ukraine did, only Georgia did it 8 years ago, ended up getting every one of their military personnel killed, and lost 2 pieces of territory. And the Ukrainians look at it and say, we want that. We want every one of our military to also die, and we want to lose a chunk of our country. Georgia, we salute you. You tell us exactly what you did in 2008, and we will do it. We will do it 8 years later. We will do the same exact stupid bullshit that you did. So we can also get every one of our military killed and lose a bunch of land. It's basically what happened. No, Jules, you wrote a comment. That's their battle plan. Hold the line and drain the Ukrainian resources. I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you. Yes, that is their plan now. But once again, someone needs to explain. I mean, I know the answer, right? But you need to know the answer. How was Russia able to take so much territory in the first 2 months of the conflict, and for the last 2 years, been barely able to move an inch? All right, guys, I actually want to go, and they have a nice outdoor gym here. I don't think I have much else to say other than if I was a dictator of the world superpower, everyone responsible for arresting these guys would be rotting in prison the rest of their life. That's my personal view on money laundering laws. Like, people that make these laws and people that enforce these laws are evil, immoral human beings that I hope never have children, because they're going to pass on these tyrannical qualities onto their kids. And I will say it to their face. Yeah, the Ukrainian front is ready to collapse. And I've always stated, go back to my 2-year-old videos. I think Russia is going to the Dnieper River. They don't want to. They don't want to occupy. I mean, I think it's going to be like this. I mean, I think it's going to be this border here. I don't think they want all of this. I'm just following the borderline. I think all of this would be Russian occupied land, which will then be Russia. I think it will be this. When the front collapses, and I don't know what NATO is going to do. NATO might put boots on the ground to prevent this. I think Russia will take this. I think they'll take all of this. They don't want this part, and they don't want this part. But if they don't take these parts, the border has too many kilometers in it, and it makes it hard to defend the border. I think they're going to take all these regions. I think when the front collapses, this would be where the Russian army stops. I said this 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago, not 2.5, couldn't have been 2.5. I said this 2 years ago, I'm saying it today. It's not going to be easy, but this will be it. This is what they'll take. And that gives that gives Russia a buffer zone, turns Ukraine into a landlocked country. And makes it very difficult for Ukrainians to attack Russian land that was Russia 3 years ago, and makes it almost impossible for Ukraine to attack Crimea. And they're super close to Kiev that if Ukrainians do something else stupid, they'll just take the Kiev. They're also going to take Chernobyl. They're not going to let Ukrainians manage Chernobyl because they may, self-destruct it. So I believe Chernobyl is here somewhere. I've been there. So wherever Chernobyl is, they'll take that as well. And looks like Israel came to their senses, and they're not going to do anything stupid like try to attack Iran again, because if they do, there may not be in Israel. They may do something almost as stupid like attack Hezbollah, but attacking Hezbollah is not going to, necessarily destroy Israel. It'll be a problem for Israel, but it's not going to destroy Israel. But at least looks like they're not going to attack Iran again, because Iran basically proved that they can destroy any site inside Israel. Their ballistic missiles got through, and Iran still has hypersonic missiles. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I am here in Maldives. I'll show you the gorgeous view out my window one more time. And I'll be in Dubai in a couple of days. This is, I didn't even show the financial summit. This is the home of, this is where the next financial summit will take place. People will literally stay in those water bungalows. Oh, you see people out in the water. Really cool. I'm probably going to go in the water. Might even have some breakfast here. They have good food. They have really good food. But yeah. So let me zoom in. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I have like snorkeling gear and stuff. I'm going to go up and check it out. All right. Thank you all for watching. Oh, there we go. Thank you all for watching. And I would check out the financial summit. I didn't even pull up the website, but this is why I'm here. And see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.